Boom! Hello everybody, and welcome to another reaction video. And today it's going to be a double header because Slipknot have just released a new track called All Out of Life, and as of the moment of this recording it was released 20 minutes ago. So obviously looking up about it, I couldn't find anything about the song. However, I did manage to find lyrics which are actually printed below the video. I think by now everybody knows who Slipknot are, you know. Slipknot. Good old bit of Slipknot going on here. This was actually my Halloween costume from last year. I'm very interested to see what it is. It's been quite a while since they released anything. I mean, last time they released stuff off the Grey No. 5 album, that's got to have been possibly 2, maybe more years ago. I can't remember exactly. But I'm excited to see what's happened. I think this is a surprise video that they've released specifically for Halloween. I'm not entirely certain. So I think what we'll do, we'll get straight into it and see what happens. I'm really hoping for good things from this. So let's just get straight into it, shall we?
At 3, I'm gonna show you what I do, and if you know what I mean. One more, one against, give me the name. Are you shining pretty, never will through the gate. You hold all the keys, so the chain shouldn't hold you. I know you heard me, I fucking tell you. All does not mean dead, new does not mean best. No hard feelings, I'm trying to be right about everything I said. Yours does not mean mine, kill does not mean die. We are not your kind, no excuses, I challenge you all out fucking wide.
Well, you know, it's a very interesting build-up. It was a very slow build-up, really, wasn't it? It sort of faded in and then just went boom, straight in your face. Again, it looks like another video directed by Sean the Clown. I don't want to try and pronounce his name because apparently it's different from how it's spelled. It's quite different. So far, it's, you know, what we've come to expect from Slipknot. You know, hard hitting, you know, pretty, you know, brutal vocals. I'm not quite sure exactly what it, if there's any meaning behind it, but there's a couple of lines in there that I really liked. Old does not mean dead. New does not mean best. No hard feelings. I'm tired of being right about everything I've said. Yours does not mean mine. Kill does not mean die. We are not your kind. No excuses. I challenge you all out life. Challenge you to all out life. So, you know, there's a couple of good points that are covered there. You know, old does not mean dead. You know, just because, you know, there's a old band or an old album or just anything in general, just because, you know, they're old, you know, they've been going for years, doesn't mean they're sort of out of ideas or, you know, just dead in general. New does not mean best. I think that's something everybody can relate to. You know, how many times have you gone out and got, say, like a brand new game in a franchise, or have you gone out and bought a new album by your favourite band and it's actually turned out to be pretty rubbish? But like I said, I'm not entirely sure what it's talking about. There is a line near the beginning saying, calling all the adamant upper level undefeated counterfeit with reasons to fear. Throw away all the meaningless shit that's clinging. The enemy is here. I said stop. So, with that first line there, calling out all the adamant upper level undefeated counterfeit is that talking to like these people, you know, in privilege who think they're better than everyone else, and, you know, they're making all the decisions that's ruining everything for everybody just because they want more stuff? I'm not sure. But so far, it's pretty much what we come to expect from Slipknot, and the video, again, very well produced, very well directed, and certainly seems to be done by Clown. So, so far, not too bad. Let's carry on.
Children are afraid of the gods. Raise your hands and show me what's impossible. That means there's even never done with the odds. What a bore, getting stuck in a metaphor. I don't wanna go to sleep. I need a breakdown quick in negotiation. Get it all together and remember to say stop. Give it a 3, I'm gonna show you what I do, and if you know what I mean. Drive by violence, more of the same. I can see where you're going and I'm really ashamed. Do you think when you act, don't just act like you're thinking? I gotta know now, you better tell me. All does not mean dead. New does not mean best. No hard feelings, I'm tired of being right about everything I've said. Yours does not mean mine. Kill does not mean die. We are not your kind. I challenge you to all out loud.
You know, I really like this track. It's really good. It's got so much energy behind it, as we've come to expect from Slipknot. There was a couple of lines back there. Hold on, let's see if I can find them again. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it, if you know what I mean. Drive-by violence, more of the same. I can see where you're going, and I'm really ashamed. Do you think when you act, or just act like you're thinking? I got to know. You better tell me. So, it's like, whether he means drive-by violence in the literal sense of things like drive-by shooting, or if he's just meaning, you know, surpassing acts of violence and aggression, you know. And it's happening more and more, you know. People over the world are finding more and more reasons to fight over everything, argue over everything. Like wars breaking out all over the planet is getting beyond stupid. It's like, I can see where you're going, and I'm really ashamed. So it's like, I can see the excuses and reasons you're giving for doing it, and to be fair, your reasons and excuses are pitiful. They're shallow. They're just looking for an excuse to fight someone because they've got something you want, rather than actually getting it for yourself. You know, you're finding a reason to take it forcibly from these people. And like, do you think when you act, or just act like you're thinking? So it's like, do you consider the consequences of your actions? You know, it's like the way of the world at the moment. You know, people are fighting wars because, you know, they want to maintain peace by blowing people up. You know, do you actually think about that? Because it doesn't make sense. Trying to force peace through, you know, acts of aggression. That's like f***ing to get your virginity back. You know, it makes no sense. You know, it's like, or do you just act like you're thinking, you're sitting there thinking, yeah, I want this, I'm going to go and get it. You know, you're not putting much thought behind it, you know. And then he goes on to this long, spoken sort of thing. It almost sounds like a public service announcement. Where is it? Yeah, repeat after me. I will not celebrate mediocrity. I will not subject myself to selected, predictable choices. My time, my attention, my quality should not be bought and sold for convenience's sake. So, you know, I will not celebrate mediocrity. It's like, we are generally forced into, you know, having to put up with the rules and the circumstances that these people in power, governments and stuff, force upon us. You know, and there are some people who, for some reason, really follow this. You know, like, what they're doing is great. It's not. They're creating war. They're creating aggression and violence. You can't celebrate that. It doesn't solve anything. I will not worship empty shells. Pretty much these people that are like saying, you know, we should go to war, we should fight back, or not fight back, we should fight for this stuff that doesn't actually belong to us. You know, what are they actually doing? They're just telling people what to do. They're not getting involved themselves, and then they sit there and make excuses. And I will not listen to worship. I will not listen to worthless noises. I will not subject myself to selected, predictable choices. So it's like, I will not listen to worthless noises. This is like, for example, politicians talking all their double talk shit, you know, finding excuses for what they're doing to make it sound right. And I will not subject myself to predictable choices. It's like, you know, these people are like, we can either go to war or they will destroy us, which isn't necessarily true. They're just like, you know, if you don't blow them up, there's a chance that they won't retaliate. You know, evil begets evil. I don't know. I could be way off, but this is what I seem to be pulling from it. I do like it, though. It's really good track. Just carry on.
Feelings, I'm done being right about everything.
there we go. That was it. That was Slipknot, All Out Life. I actually got the track title wrong at the beginning. I said All Out of Life, but it's All Out Life. It was a very good track, and I find the video quite interesting actually, because you don't see any of the band members in it. I mean, they might have been some of those people that were in the video, but there was none of their individual specific masks to be seen. And I get the impression here, right, because the video shows all these people being brought into prison, and all of these people look exactly the same. And I don't know whether, because they all look the same, is it supposed to represent the faceless masses, you know, the general public, as it were, because we are essentially the faceless masses. We don't get a say in what happens in the world. We are essentially forced into a life of servitude, like in prison. And at the end, you can see that person, you know, setting off a flare and blowing up the prison bus. You know, is that like the sign of rebellion, of us fighting back to take back the planet, to take back, you know, our right to a voice in the world? I don't know. But yeah, it was a good track, very, very heavy, very enjoyable. Certainly a surprise of a track, because I don't believe there was any announcement at any point that this track was coming out, and all of a sudden on Halloween it just pops up out of nowhere. Yeah, and you know, as you'd expect from a Slipknot, there's a lot of variation in the style of the music. You know, they'd have a couple of breakdowns, you know, the tone of the music changes, but it's still really fast, really heavy, really, really enjoyable. It's brilliant, and if this is a sign of what's to come with a new album, then I'm really, really looking forward to it. Because there have been a few like interviews and stuff where they've spoken about a new album coming out. I think it's probably sometime next year, possibly a little bit later. I'll be surprised if they get it out by the end of this year. But yeah, very good track. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a brilliant track, because I'm not going to say it's their best, because they have had much better tracks. And this actually reminds me of another track of theirs, but I can't quite place it. Anyway, I can't think of what it was, but no, that was a very interesting, very, very fast and energetic track, like you'd expect from Slipknot. And I wasn't actually expecting to put out a second video today, but you know, as soon as that popped up, I was like, well, I've got to do that. So yeah, happy Halloween to everybody. Be safe. You know, if you're taking kids out to trick or treat or whatever, please do be safe. But I'm going to leave that as it is. You know, if anybody wants to suggest any songs for me to react to, please do so by dropping a comment in the comment section below, or messaging me on Instagram. If you've suggested a song and it hasn't come up yet, rest assured it is coming. You know, I'm working through my list, and it's gotten quite long these days. As I said, well, I haven't said it yet, no, because that comes up in tomorrow's video. I'm actually coming up to my 100th reaction video, my 100th episode of Metalhead Reacts, and I'm looking for suggestions for a really, really awesome song to do for my 100th video. You know, so if anybody wants to suggest that, you know, just comment below. I think 100th video should be XYZ, you know, whatever, and I'll collect all the results, assuming I get any reactions for it, and I'll see what I come out with. I would have reached 100 sooner if YouTube hadn't blocked about 7 or 8 videos that I've recorded in the past, but you know, it's well within there, right? So anyway, yes, I'll leave that as it is. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.